Hey, what's going on, everybody? Zach here with Brand Wound Pickups, and welcome back to another episode of Rewind Time. So we have a pickup here that we've actually done before, probably lots of times. It's a jazz bass pickup. The reason we're going to do this one is because look at the magnets on this thing. That is about as rusty as I have ever seen a pre-CBS pickup. Like, these things are rough. And so I think when we go to cut the wire off of here, because I'm almost positive we're not going to be able to save this, we're going to see some heavy corrosion inside, and you're going to be able to see what that kind of looks like a little bit easier than some of the times we've had when it was just kind of light corrosion. It's kind of hard to see what killed it. This was hand wound. You can tell because it's kind of a little bit uneven. Of course, we'll hand wind it as well. So I think this is an early 60s black bottom. By 1964-ish, kind of late in 64, you're going to start seeing these in gray. We have plain enamel on here, whereas on the strap pickups at this era, you would have had form bar, but the bass guitars and the tellies pretty much got the plain enamel for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe, I don't know. Fender just did whatever they wanted to do. Yeah, pretty cool pickup. You can see on the bottom the magnets aren't very rusty, obviously, because they weren't exposed to the surface, but man, this thing was hammered. And got the original cover here. There's actually still a screw that broke off in this cover, probably because the screw was so rusty as well. This thing is totally hammered. I will try to save it. I don't think it's gonna happen. And honestly, being this rusty, even if I could get it to work, it's probably gonna die very soon. So it's almost better to just go ahead and rewind it anyways. But I don't know, we'll take a look at it and see. I think this was lacquer potted as well. Yeah, I think so. Because if you look in the eyelet holes here on the top flat work, that's filled with lacquer. And these were dipped in lacquer prior to winding, but the windings on here, they look like lacquer, not wax to me. So that's probably what we'll do as well. Okay, so I'm gonna start, I guess, trying to unwind this and see what happens, but probably come back to you when I've cut all the wire off of it. All right, guys. Yeah, no chance whatsoever. I heated the solder joints up a little bit and I took a few winds off. I'm just like, there's no point in doing this. So this actually has tape inside, which I've seen before on jazz bass. However, they didn't tape it well enough, unfortunately. When you put tape around the magnets, it kind of helps insulate it a little bit from rust. But take a look at this. Boom. It's even coming through the tape a little bit, and the tape that they used, apparently, it must not have been long enough, or the tape isn't completely covering the magnets. And so where it's exposed, it's just totally crusty. Let's see if we can get this tape off of here. Yeah, okay. This thing, wow, this is crusty. I think this is the worst one I've ever seen, or at least, well, no, I'll take that back. I have seen one where the magnet actually broke in half on an old 68 Telly pickup. But this is up there. Whew, don't want to breathe that in. Look at the carnage in there. Man, that's something right there. Yeah, so obviously that broke the windings. This is gonna take some cleanup. We're gonna have to really, really go in here and get that rust off. Wow, I'm gonna take some pictures of this because you can't see it as well on the camera. This is crazy. I'm gonna have to wear like a respirator trying to get the rust off of there. Okay, so I'm gonna throw up some pictures of this now because it's kind of unlike anything I've ever seen before in one of these. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get it cleaned up, and then maybe we'll throw a video up on the winder. So see you guys in a bit. Okay, so it is a different day now. I didn't quite get to finish this the other day. We now have the magnets cleaned up, at least as best I could. It looks a lot better. So before we wind this, we need to insulate these magnets really, really well. So we're probably gonna use some lacquer as well as a bunch of tape. I mean, we're gonna tape the crap out of these things because we don't want that rust to come back and kill the coil in the future. And like I say, we had this original tape around it here, but it was only one little piece. It didn't really do anything. So we're gonna really tape it, and then it should be good for a while. This is assembled crooked as well. I may address that. Oh well. Anyways, so I'm gonna get the magnets insulated and then we're gonna get this thing on the winder. Alright guys, we got this thing on the winder. Oh, I can see my camera moving. Alright, it stopped. So we're using 42 gauge plain enamel on this. We're gonna do about 9,200 turns. This is a bridge pickup, so it's okay if it's a little on the hot side. Got the magnets all taped up. Everything looks pretty good, so I think we're gonna be alright. Alright, well I'll show you this when it's all done. Okay guys, we are all done. We got our leads put back on here. It reads about 8.4K, and it's gonna be good to go hopefully for a long time. Pretty simple rewind time. Like I said, we've done one of these before. I just want to show you guys just how rusty this thing was, because it's unusual to see them quite that bad. We kind of recreated our wind pattern there, so the coil actually looks pretty much identical to how it did before, which is neat. And the customer's going to be really happy and get it back in the base, and it'll be good to go. So there you guys have it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Rewind Time. Knew that was going to happen. I forgot my tripod.